The headline clash of Group B at the Rugby World Cup takes place at Stade de France on Saturday between world number 1 Ireland and world champion South Africa. The world ranking is on the line and the chance to take top spot in the pool. Joining us now from Paris is Newzroom Afrika reporter Yolulwe Qoshe. Yolulwe, good evening and welcome back home. How is the atmosphere out there in France?
Well, bonsoir to you, Lebo, and I wish I could show you the atmosphere here, the people walking in the streets, but the lighting let me down by a few minutes. It got darker as my setup was starting to be able to show the South Africans at home how much of an atmosphere we started to feel here in Paris, as you said, rightfully so, as that build-up to that much-anticipated clash between number 1 and number 2 in the world, Ireland versus South Africa, takes place tomorrow. Now, in terms of the atmosphere, it has been, in terms of weather, it's been a bit gloomy, it's been raining, so that's probably also played to the fact of not too many people in the streets initially. But today, unfortunately, I must say, Lebo, I've seen a lot more Irish jerseys than I have seen South African jerseys. Something I must say I did not see either in Marseille or Bordeaux. Those particular cities were dressed in green and gold. So today, unfortunately, we might have been outnumbered here, but I hope that's not a good or bad omen for when we do take to the field tomorrow against the Irish.
Yolulwe, let's talk about the importance of the game to both sides. Just off the pitch a little bit, how important is it to the fans that you're coming across? What are they saying about the importance of number 1 and number 2 in action over the weekend?
Well, interestingly, like you say, the fans, Lebo, we spoke to the fans as far back as Marseille about this clash. We spoke to the fans as far back as Bordeaux about this clash as well. Even when we speak about the games against Scotland and Romania, the fans did not want to keep the name Ireland out of their mouths. That in itself is an indicator of just how important this game is for both sides, Lebo. Whoever wins tomorrow will then know, okay, we are now in control of Group B. Then they will start to look across to Group A, where, of course, New Zealand and France are also having their battle. So South Africa and Ireland would have been looking at each other the whole time saying, okay, our big fixture is going to be the decider. They would have planned their teams accordingly against the other teams so that they can arrive in this fixture in the best of conditions. So the winner for this particular game tomorrow, 1, gets to control the Group 2, wins the bragging rights, North versus South. So people on social media, the fans, the pundits, get to have the bragging rights in terms of which team is in the better nick, which team can also put themselves in the hat as World Cup favorites. So tomorrow, a lot is riding on that fixture. South versus North, number 1 versus number 2. A lot can change after the result is given at the Stade de France tomorrow night.
There's been plenty of discussions around the 7-1 split within the Springboks squad and lots of conversation on social media platforms. Do the fans out there understand exactly what we're talking about when you talk about the 7-1 split?
Well, you see, when you speak about the 7-1 split, Lebo, it's like, you know, it's a gamble, whichever way you look at it, you know. It can work out for you and it can also be a disaster for you. The 7-1 split in a very, very simple nature just shows you the way that the Springboks like to play the game. It's a Springbok game plan, is always forwards dominated. We want to dominate our opponents up front. What the 7-1 split allows is for the Springboks, Jock and Rossi to be able to bring in another pack of 7 forwards to come in to continue the momentum left by the first pack of forwards there. So, but the only other problem with this, Lebo, if we get an injury to the backline early, then we have to already make some changes. We've got one backline player in Kobus Reineck. No problem, he covers his initial position, which is scrum off and on the wing. But should we lose 2 backline players, then already we're looking at the likes of Kwagga Smith, who's an auxiliary player in that forward pack, who's going to be in between the forwards and the backs, because he is a 7th player. He's more mobile when you look at the other forwards being selected, and he's also a player that is, in terms of weight, a little even smaller than our 2 centers on the night. So should we have any problems with the 7-1, Kwagga will make up a 2 for the back line. But should everything go smoothly, that could be our trump card, as it will neutralize the engine of the Irish, which comes from their powerful and experienced forward pack. So it's all about neutralizing the Irish and playing towards our game plan as well, Lebo.
Thank you very much, Yolulwe, for that update. That's the latest coming through from Paris.